Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, on today's episode, what I want to do is talk about something, as I always do, that it seems to be quite controversial and something that nobody else in the sphere seems to be talking about. Not that I've come across anyway. And what's so bizarre is in my practice and working with clients on a daily basis, this seems to be one of the main predictors of psychological distressed behavior. Every time I have a client that is besides themselves with anxiety, depression, stress related to relationships, affairs, whatever it is, this seems to be a common thread amongst these clients. And so what I wanted to do today is share this topic with you in the most sensitive but informative manner I know how. Now, if you know me, you know I don't mince my words, but I do recognize that when I work with clients who have this particular issue, when I explain it to them, it's like the penny dropped and they go silent and they are really devastated for a couple of days and they are actually like a little bit shell shock because they haven't really explored this issue before. But the moment we unveil it, that's when they can start to heal. And I really want to do that with you guys today. And the topic is single mothers. Now, if you've come across my content before, you know that I'm a huge advocate for, children and what's best for children. Now, in nowhere ever have I suggested that you have to stay with a person, even if they're abusive, and you have to, stay with your partner forever. And, you have to. I've never said that. But what I do say is the children's needs have to come first. And when they are coming from a single parent home, they are at a lot of emotional and psychological disadvantages. So what I want to do is debunk the idea that, okay, single parenting is all terrible, because this is what a lot of the advice online says, is if you meet a single mother or if a girl comes from a broken home, that means that's it. You cannot be with her. She's going to be traumatized. She's going to be difficult. She's going to be anxious. We don't want anything to do with it. That seems to be a lot of the advice. Or the other end of the spectrum is they act like there's nothing wrong with it. They act like there's no problem whatsoever and you should just go in blindly. There is a way of dissecting whether or not, if somebody comes from a single parent home or if somebody is a single mother, if they are going to be a good single mother or a bad single mother. Yeah. And I'm going to say as simple as that, because there are two types of single mothers. One of those single mothers, I believe, is a gift to mankind. And the other is a punishment to anybody who's ever walked in her path. So there's literally just two types of single mothers. And I'm going to talk you through the two types and what are the green flags and the red flags, whether you're from a single parent home or you're dating a single mother or you are a single mother. I want you to recognize the red flags and green flags in single parenting. Now, if you meet a single mother and she is co-parenting effectively, she is really close with her previous partner, is really happy for the children to spend time with her previous partner or a previous partner's family. She encourages the children to spend time with the new stepmother and perhaps the new children. And she seems to be really effective at communicating with her partner in regards to the child, but she keeps boundaries. She's not over-involved. She's not completely segregated. She's got good boundaries with her previous partner. Then this woman is a gem. Yeah, she's a gem. The reason why you should not let go of her just because she's a single mother is because she's given you a preview of what kind of emotionally stable person she is. She's shown you if shit hits the fan and if one day you two break up, she can still compartmentalize her feelings and do what's best for the children. So she's a huge green flag. Now, a lot of this advice online will say, well, if she keeps in touch with her baby daddy, she's going to cheat. Absolutely not. That's not the case. If she keeps in touch but has boundaries and allows the children to be looked after and the children are well protected, that means she's just somebody who is able to put the needs of a child first. She's incredibly selfless. She's incredibly mature. Now, if you come across a single mother like that, absolute green flag. However, the other type of single mother is narcissistic, is judgmental. She will make your life and her children's life a slow suicide. What I mean by that is she ruins the children's emotional capabilities day by day simply by putting her needs first. And if you want to know if your mother was like this or the woman that you're dating is like this or if you're like this, Here are some of the signs that you may be the toxic single mother. Now, the first sign that this single mother is toxic is how she speaks about her ex. Now, if you meet a single mother and her first sentence is, my ex was a narcissist, my ex was awful, my ex was abusive, my ex, my ex, my ex, and she talks about how terrible he was, this is a huge red flag. I'll tell you why this is a huge red flag. Firstly, she's showing you and showing the children that she doesn't have good vetting process when it comes to romantic relationships. If you can lay in bed and have children with a man that you consider abusive and you consider narcissistic, and you're saying there was no red flags before, it all happened afterwards, this person is blind. She goes into dating blind. She goes into relationships blind. She doesn't have a good vetting process. The reason why that's such a red flag is it shows that she could put her children in danger again. If she can have children with an abusive man, a narcissistic man, and say there was no red flags, there's something wrong in her vetting process. Now she's going to go on to put her children in a new hostile environment, because studies show that single parenting where there's no access to the father have the highest rates of sexual and physical abuse. Why is that? Because that mother didn't reflect on her selection process and completely blamed the ex, and that's why she is not a good role model for these children. So that is, I would say, is the first red flag, right? Now, the second red flag of a narcissistic single mother is she blocks access. What I mean by that is she doesn't allow the ex-husband or the father of the children to access the children, or she makes it incredibly difficult. She'll either get courts involved, she'll move the children far away, she will not allow the in-laws, she will not allow children to go to the grandparents' house, she won't allow Christmases to be with them. She makes life difficult for that father that's trying to see the child. Now, some of these single moms are a bit delusional, and they'll say, oh, but he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to. When you dig deeper, you realize that he does want to. She just pretends to she made it so difficult in the beginning stages that he eventually gives up. Now, if she blocks access to the father of her children, the reason why this is a huge red flag if you're a child of a mother like this is it shows she puts her ego above your emotional needs. Her ego comes first. Knowing full well that children need two parents, she doesn't care about that. She puts her ego first. If you're dating a woman like this, she is giving you a preview into what she would do if you two had children. She might be great to you now. She might be loving and kind and just say, oh, he was awful, I'm just protecting my children from abuse. But she's giving you an insight into what would happen if you two have children and you annoy her. Most mothers who block access to a child's father, they go on to do it again. Yeah, they go on to it. Statistically, they find women go on to do it again. There's usually not just one man on the block list, it's a couple. So if she's blocked access to the father, and if the reasons are anything other than regular and consistent abuse to the child, then chances are she is a toxic single mother and one that you should stay away from. Now, another thing to bear in mind is another signal that she might be a toxic single mother is she demands loyalty from the children. What I mean by that is she makes a child feel guilty if they want to spend time with their father or the father side of the family. She sees a child. Hi guys, thank you for tuning in. For the rest of this video and for exclusive weekly content that you won't get anywhere else on the internet, make sure you join my Patreon. The link is in the bio. Not only will you be able to watch all my exclusive content, but you'll also be able to ask me a question anytime throughout the month. So thank you so much for watching. The links are in the bio.